Hey guys, it's Backstab808 here, and I'm here to teach you how to do the Scarlet Monastery one pull boosting technique. And what you're going to want to start off with is your buffs, which is Arcane Intellect, Ice Armor, and Dampen Magic. Now for the gear that you're going to want to need is the Glacial Gauntlets. These are going to be very helpful as it gives you 30 frost resistance and spell power. Also, Glacial Wrists. These are also very helpful because it gives frost resistance and spell power. Those two items you can get off the auction house pretty easily. The gloves are around 200 gold. The Glacial Wrists are around 150. But if you're doing these boosts, it will pay for itself, so it's honestly worth the buy. If you have tailoring, you can get the Bright Cloth Cloak. If you don't, it's easily affordable on the auction house. I bought mine for 3 gold because I was too lazy to make mine. And it gives 7 frost resistance. It's better than nothing. And it gets me closer to almost being unslowable in Scarlet Monastery. Now, many people don't have the money for this. And you can honestly just get some raid gear if you wanted. But the Robe of the Archmage is a really good investment for a chest piece because it acts like a secondary gemstone where you can get mana by activating it. So it's a really good help if you need it in these dire situations where all you have is 1 mana ruby. Lastly, another frost resistance item that also gives frost spell power is Swamp Chill. Gives 5 frost resistance, also really helpful. If you also have that one-handed dagger, which I have from Zolgrub, it helps out a ton. Alrighty, so lastly, for the gear, you need any boots that you want. It can also give frost resistance, it doesn't matter, but you need to have minor speed increase. If you don't have that enchant, this run is practically impossible. That minor speed that it gives you will keep you just in front of the mobs that you pull. And you need every bit of that. These mobs will catch up to you pretty quickly, and these things just make it that much easier and doable. So, for the trinkets, you're going to want the Zandalarian Hero Charm and the Ramstein's Lightning Bolts. Those two, optional. I just like them because of the burst damage that the Zandalarian's Hero Charm gives, and the Ramstein's Lightning Bolt is not used for Cathedral. It's mainly used for Armory, for the Ice Block pool, but we'll get to that in a moment. So these are the gear, the talents that you'll need. They're pretty basic. They're just mainly there for AoE. So, you're going to want to start off with Mana Shield and Ice Barrier. Always start off with 100% mana. And right there, as you saw, I can start off a little bit further than if you were to be a human. I don't know if it's true or not, but gnomes have a further AoE range than humans do. So as you could see, I could start pretty far and still hit the 2 guards with my Arcane Explosion. So right here, you're going to want to Nova and get a little bit ahead and blink. That's going to get you just far enough ahead of the mobs so that they start pulling and running towards you, and also gives you enough time to open up the Cathedral doors. Now, mine are already open because I did fail the run once due to really bad RNG. But if you pretend like the door isn't there or isn't open, stay there for about 4 to 5 seconds. And the second you start to move, use Arcane Explosion, and you'll pull both sides of the guards next to the door. You're going to want Arcane Explosion 3 times on the left side, and right here, smack dab in the center, you'll root every single person in this area, which will give you enough time to ice barrier and frost ward, then blink. You're going to want to duck left and jump over here. As you can see, the mobs are not going to follow you straight because this is a error in their pathing. So they will make a very long detour to try and catch up to you. So every time you jump a corner, it slows them down just a little bit, and you're going to want to try to Arcane Explosion every single corner so that just in case mobs don't get pulled. Right here, you're going to want Arcane Explosion, then Blink, and then Ice Barrier and Frost Ward. Jump the corner and Arcane Explosion. Now right here, as you can see, I have 62 mana. If you're that low on mana, it's fine. If you're even lower, you can pop a mana ruby and you'll get some of that mana back, but you don't really need to use it unless you absolutely have to because of the casters. You can spell reflect with the talents that I just gave you and it will give you mana back. Over here you can jump an Arcane Explosion and then you'll blink. Right now the mobs are going to be pretty damn close to you, so if you get slowed right here, you will die unless you can get yourself out of it. So right here you're going to want to reapply do not blink, Arcane Explosion in the corner, then blink across. This will give you a head start on the mobs. Now the reason why we jump off of here is because the mobs that are close to you will path backwards and go down the stairs instead of just glitching downwards. So once you reach about this line right there, you want to turn your camera, not your character, because your character can blizzard no matter which way he's facing, as long as it's a place that you can see or is in line of sight. You're going to want to blizzard right below the stairs so that they all get slowed. They may be getting a little close, but wait till they're all slowed. Now you can see there is one wizard right next to me. As you can see, he's not going to path straight back. He's going to take a left and then go diagonally back to that corner once I jump back up. And at this time, you can also pop the Zandalarian Hero Charm and get even more damage than what you would without. So you're going to want to Ice Barrier, get back on top, and just start raining hell. You can do almost a full cast, but don't be too ballsy, because you can just jump right down and make sure you have a safe pull. And all you need to do is just finish it up. You don't need Ice Block. You don't need Potion of Invulnerability. You just need to have confidence in yourself, because these guys aren't as scary as you think. So I have 2 left. There's no need to blizzard. I can just use 2 AoE spells and then blizzard down the rest of the Scarlet Sorcerers. Now I didn't do this, but you could, while they're attacking you, create a mana ruby and then do blizzard to gain some of your mana back and save some time. So once I exit this dungeon, you'll see that I've killed about 74 mobs. The time wasn't actually 10 minutes because I stayed there for a little bit explaining what I did. But 74 mobs is about usual, 74 to 76. And in Scarlet Monastery Armory, you will always have 66 mobs. Now right here, you can deal with these 2 guards however you want, but you're always going to kill them first when you're boosting, because these 2 are the ones that you cannot get while you're on your boost. So this is just a short demo on how I'm going to kill this dungeon pretty much. You're going to use 2 blizzards right at max range, and then you're going to Nova them. After that, Flame Strike, and then Cone of Cold. That should pretty close to much kill them. And then Arcane Explosion for the takedown. So in order to do Scarlet Monastery Armory, you're going to have to run all the way back to Herod. But in the meantime, try not to pull any mobs. If you need to wait the extra 20 seconds for the Scarlet Evokers to pass by you. If you don't, you're going to pull them and it's going to mess up your run. You're either going to have to, if you're prepared, full send it. Go all the way to the back while pulling mobs and then go all the way back. But if you're good, you can get past. So, whoops. So when you're coming up to this spot, you'll see a mob pack of 3. And you're going to have a Scarlet Evoker that paths this way. It's fine, honestly. You can stay right to the right of the Scarlet Evoker, but try not to pull it. But in this spot, you're going to want to blink. Always want to blink. You cannot get past that group if you do not blink. There's also going to be a Scarlet Evoker pathing this way as well. So please keep in mind for that. Alrighty. Because I have enough time on my Arcane Intellect and Ice Armor, all I need to do is reapply my Dampen Magic, create my Mana Ruby, and get myself my mana back. Always have 100% mana when you're doing these runs. Mana Shield and Ice Barrier have 100% mana, and you're going to want to wand them. So as you saw with my mouse cursor, you're going to want to leave at 20 seconds worth of your cooldown on your Ice Barrier, blink right here, and start arcaning everyone. Right here, you're going to want a Nova, and then reapply Ice Barrier. Right here, you're going to want to blink, and then Arcane Explosion, everyone. It's pretty much just a Arcane Explosion and dash. So, right here, as you saw, there's going to be a pack to your left. Some people can keep their screen in this position, target them, and then use Counterspell. But since mine automatically corrects itself, I can jump while keeping my momentum, face them, then use my Counterspell, and then keep on running to aggro that pack. Arcane Explosion right here. Do not blink. And use Arcane Explosion to grab that corner pack. Since I had about 50% mana, I used both my chest piece and my mana ruby to gain back my mana up to 87%. For this run in specific, you want to be at the highest amount of mana that you possibly can. Because this one, you can mess up. So reapply Ice Barrier, and then Arcane Explosion at this corner, and blink to juke all of the mobs. Let me show that again. So Ice Barrier, Arcane Explosion, jump the corner, Arcane Explosion. As you can see, all the mobs on the left side are pretty grouped together. So in this moment, you can blink and just suppress all of them. And this will just make them run back towards you. Alright, in this moment, you're going to want to ice block. And you're going to want to start spamming your limited invulnerability potion. That limited invulnerability potion will give you enough time to pop the Ramstein's lightning bolts to get that AoE damage off of all of them, and 2 arcane explosions. After that 2 arcane explosions, use Nova, Cold Snap, and then Nova again for the security. It's a 1 in 10,000 chance that one of these mobs will resist both of them. And that's a bad time if you get one of those chances. Alrighty. See? Pop Trinket, 2 Arcane Explosions, Nova, and Nova. You're going to want to pop Ice Barrier and Fire Warding and use a max rank Blizzard twice. Make sure you use most of it or all of it. So once I'm done with this Blizzard, go around, Nova them, use your Zandalarian Trinket because it increases your Flame Strike damage by a ton, and then Cone of Cold them. But when you Cone of Cold, don't just stand still, jump. When you jump, it gives you a maximum range on your Cone of Cold and will reach further. And then just Arcane Explosion them all down. And then all you have to do is Blizzard. And that's it. You have completed both sides to Scarlet Monastery, Cathedral, and Armory. Now once I leave this instance, I will show you that the mobs should be 66. I'm just kidding. You can do the math. Alright, thank you for watching.